Welcome to the Randy and Danny Show. I'm
Hey,
Randy.
I'm Danny.
And we have a special guest here today, Councilor Terry Wong.
Nice to meet you.
Perfect.
Welcome to Chinatown, Terry.
Chinatown, yes.
Thank you.
So I do want to start off saying that this podcast, episode 1 or 2 now, episode 2 now, is sponsored by the City of Calgary through the Activation Micro Grant, as well as the city, the Spaceful YC for letting us use their equipment, and also the restaurant itself, the Regency Restaurant.
Regency Palace Restaurant.
That's
Thank
right.
you for hosting us today.
Yes, perfect, awesome.
And so let's introduce Tim.
Yes.
Tim? Hey, come on in, Tim.
Hi.
Come right
Welcome
in behind-
everybody.
yeah, right behind here,
Welcome
yeah.
everybody.
Nice to meet you.
Mr. Wendy.
This is Tim.
Danny, yeah.
He's the general manager of the
Hello,
restaurant,
Terry. Yeah.
and he's going to
You'll
be
be serving us today.
serving us and telling us a little bit about the dim
Very
sum
good,
that
yeah.
we're going to be having.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
so we're
thanks.
ready.
Yeah,
we're ready.
I think we're ready.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome
the tea.
to Chinatown, and
So it's very common for us to tap the table beside our cup to say thank you for the tea.
all right.
Okay. So the first dish we're serve is the hagao.
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 Shrimp dumpling.
Perfect. All right. Shrimp dumplings.
You like the hot sauce?
I do like the hot sauce,
Yeah,
yes.
You take that. I can't do hot sauce
Okay.
anymore.
So the second one I got here is a siumai, steamed pork dumpling.
Steamed pork dumpling, okay.
The staple, huh? This is the staple of Chinatown.
That's right.
Barry, what's your, dim sum experience? Tell us, when was your first time having dim sum? that you can-
Well, first off, my parents came from China and back in the 50s, so I grew up in Vancouver, and Vancouver Chinatown was a hotbed of Chinese cuisine in North America, and so that's definitely where I got my first taste of dim sum as a kid.
And then here in Calgary,
Well, I came in Calgary in 1980 and been here about 45 years, and there's many different good places, but certainly you can't beat coming to Chinatown.
yeah, that's right. And today we're here at the Regency, and Tim just brought us a steamed spare rib dish,
Yes.
black bean steamed spare ribs, right? Another staple.
So let's start talking about the first dish, which is the hagao. Right? So this hagao here, we can just show you to the team.
Oh, hagao.
Hagao first. Okay, we see this here. This is pretty much shrimp dumpling wrapped in rice sheets. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, let's go enjoy. All right, so let's try this out, guys.
I certainly remember helping my grandmother make these back in
Yeah.
back in Vancouver, and making the rice pastry is a very hard thing to do.
Very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of these dishes are actually steamed. Most of them are steamed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so. Yeah.
All right, so first bite, guys.
Mm. Now, in Chinatown, there's many places that serve dim sum.
Yes.
And we're here at the Regency Palace Restaurant as our first show about dim sum.
Yeah.
But there are other places, so and they're pretty much common,
Yes.
all the same like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, they're all bite-sized. They're all shareable. The idea is that you get 1 or 2 or 3 dishes, and everybody kind of picks from it. It's good to the community that you can all share your food.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The next dish I really like here is the pai guat, which is the spare ribs. This is one of my favorite growing up. My mom used to call me pai guat jai. Because all I eat was this. So if I'm going dim sum, all I eat is this. And to this very day, it's still one of my favorite dishes.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite dishes.
Well, one of those things about the black beans, a fermented bean, and as kids we used to not eat the sparrows but pick off the
Yeah,
beans,
yeah.
only because they were related to salted
Yeah,
flavor.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
Amazing.
or you put it in your teeth and you make like you have a tooth missing. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, let's do this one.
But for me, when I grew up, like you grew up in Vancouver, I grew up in Lethbridge.
Yeah.
We did not have dim sum.
Yeah.
So we would have to travel 200 kilometers to
Yeah.
Calgary,
Yeah.
to Chinatown, to have dim sum as a family, and then we would spend the entire day in
Yeah.
Chinatown. You know, mom and dad would go shopping in the herb shops, right? Because they need. Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Get the herbs and you know things like that,
Yeah.
right? Or groceries, basically.
Perfect.
And don't worry about when you come to Chinatown trying to master chopsticks.
Yeah. They have forks here too.
Yeah, they have forks. Yeah.
The dishes can be a little
Yeah.
delicate to try to pick up.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, I guess one of the things that you know when I first started coming to Calgary Chinatown, this was in 40 years ago when I was going to school. I went to a restaurant in Chinatown and it was called the Double Greeting. I don't know if you remember Double Greeting. If
Sure.
you do, okay, so inside Double Greeting in their English Chinese menu, right? They would have ratings.
Yes.
A rating system, 1 to 5. 1 being a novice,
Yes.
right?
Which is-
Beginner,
Which is
right?
kind of what you would do here with this
with
current
the-
setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the exotic,
Yeah.
right? And you know they would have 1 to 5, right?
Yeah.
For exotic. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
We're ready.
And you know something like this is chicken feet. Oh, talk about rating system.
Yeah.
Right.
This is
So,
the level 5 in my opinion.
for
Yeah.
some, right?
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
some, yeah.
You know, I think one thing about a dish like that, it's really outside your comfort zone.
For sure.
It's I think a psychological barrier. If you guys remember, there was a show called Fear Factor, right? And they did the really gross stuff. But I mean, this is food. This is
Yes.
the good stuff.
I think for people to take a look at what it looks like.
Yeah,
once-
yeah, yeah.
especially with different
Oof.
sauces.
That's okay. It's all
But
good.
once again, don't be afraid of eating the chicken feet itself, because
Yeah.
again the chicken feet is the skin itself will melt in your mouth, and the bones you can easily dispense with very quickly. So it's
Yeah.
really good. But the second part of the equation is flavor. It is a very unique flavor relative to any other dish that's come in Chinatown.
Yeah. All right, so
And talking about flavor on the chicken feet,
Thank you.
every restaurant that serves dim sum, thank you,
no problem.
has a unique taste to it.
That's right.
Right, each one, but it's still chicken feet,
Yeah.
right? So
Well, and that's a acknowledgement of the different cultural districts that
Yes.
Chinese people.
Yes.
Most of the Chinese people, again, turning the 20th century, most of them came from the southeast region of Toisan,
Yeah.
or Guangdong area. Toisan is certainly one of those regions that we have here.
yeah,
So,
that's right.
and really every village has their own incarnation of all of these dishes.
Yeah, exactly.
This one has come a long way as well too, right? Because this one used to be a very simple dish. Now people are adding more elegance to it, more enhanced flavoring. Like people are experimenting with different ingredients to kind of enhance the
Well,
experience.
I think one thing when you come to dim sum or have dim sum, or even just coming to Chinatown for the first time, it's going to be an experience. It's a life experience. I mean, you can go to Mexico, that's a life experience. You can climb the mountains, that's a life experience.
Yeah.
Come to Chinatown, that's an experience that is memorable, it's cultural, it's part of Calgary, it's so rich. You know, Chinatown was here before Calgary was here.
But one of the things that, it's, you have a lot of tourists come to Calgary, and a lot of tourists will often, and for that matter, Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, they often seek out Chinese restaurant.
Yes.
And it's only because this is a type of culinary dish that permeates across many different cultures. And when you go to New York or San Francisco, Toronto, Vancouver, we match every single one.
Yeah, I have two friends who are very close to me, Emma and Cassidy. Their first time having dim sum was here. And,
Nice.
and they're like, well, what do we order? What do we order? So we always started with the level 1, the rankings level 1, where it's just Hagasi Mai Pai Guan. And then we started getting to the level 2s, level 3s. Being the first time, they're very hesitant of level 2s and 3s, but they had a good experience
So the
overall.
next one I
because of dim
got
sum.
the beef tendon.
Beef tendon.
Another level five.
I got, thank you.
These two are my favorite. These two are my
All
favorite.
right, let's do another. Right on. And having tea with dim sum is always good. It helps kind of break down the grease as you're consuming the dim sum dishes here.
Well, let's go with some beef tendon.
Yeah, let's do it.
This is, I think, in some people's minds, a level 5.
Yeah, it can be chewy. So depending on how this was made, it could be very. Oh, this is very soft. It's very soft.
Very good. This has always been a favorite. The texture and stuff.
Yeah.
And I find the only place really serving beef tendon in Chinatown is this place, is Regency.
Yeah, it's not something that a smaller cafe can do very well.
Yeah.
You need a larger, I say pot. It's more like a stewing type of.
Yeah,
cooking.
that's right.
The other dishes are definitely steamed.
Yeah, that's good.
Dig into chicken feet,
Yeah.
So chicken
I
feet.
was waiting for someone to start. I was waiting.
Chicken feet is my level 5, but for the audience today, I will definitely try it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I don't-
before.
I've tried it like once, so it's a level 5 for me.
What?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, you just put me on the spot in front of the audience here.
All right.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say about chicken feet, my father used to say, it's not like biting your baby brother's fingers.
Yeah. You make it much easier to eat. Oh my god.
All right.
All right,
Cheers.
I'm gonna figure out this. It's level 5 for me. 100% it is.
Suck the bones. Suck the meat off the bones. It'll just come right off.
Yeah, I tapped out.
Chopping
It's a level 5 for me. So again, everybody, you have your own experience.
Yeah.
Everybody has different textures that they're comfortable with. This is level 5. The flavor is good, but the texture itself, I just can't muscle down. Yeah.
Shanghai dumpling.
Wow.
Oh, thank you.
Perfect.
Shalom bao.
Shalom bao. So let's have the sauce right beside that. So Terry, being in Chinatown and being part of Calgary for a long time, where do you see Chinatown in the next 10 years?
In 2016, we established the Chinatown BIA, and
right.
that's probably the turning point to Chinatown, meaning that business luminaries come together, supported the businesses, worked with the city, worked with our tourist industry to really showcase. In the last 5 years, we think the council has dedicated more money into Chinatown, both in terms of programs and festivals, but also we're going to see some new investments in infrastructure.
Right.
So the future of Chinatown is a modern Chinatown.
Nice.
Again, getting into the 21st century, where in time we're going to have a green line running up down Center Street. In time we're going to have the Cinlock Park will be retrofitted to be that much more multi-generational gathering place. The other day I opened a public washroom over at the Confluence, and I'm trying to pursue public washrooms in Chinatown.
Yeah.
Because as most people traveling in Chinatown, they want to be able to come to eat, they want to recreate, but also at the same time they got some personal business they have to do.
Yeah.
We want to make sure it's inviting all year round.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah.
And rice pancake.
Ah, yes.
呢個叫擺嗰度，俾個老婆食。Yeah. Yeah. No, totally understand. When it comes to like accessibility and hygiene, to have that space in Chinatown, it's very important. To that, people feel comfortable coming to Chinatown. I believe, myself and Daniel are both part of the BIA. I won't recently be part of it, but I see all the initiatives that they're doing is to create more welcoming place for people to come.
When coming back to what Randy was saying is, and yourself is modernizing Chinatown. How do we do that? Well, again, the BIA.
Yes.
It was a big. I think is a big part of that. It's taken a long time.
Yeah.
Sorry. To get into to see the fruits of that work.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, again, Danny and I were the founders of the BIA back in 2015-16, and we established 3 fundamental principles that still hold true today. And that is, Chinatown is a clean, safe, secure place. Chinatown is a must-visit destination, and Chinatown is a great experience.
That's right.
And if we can keep on that principle, I often say that parallels what most people want to see, and that's Disneyland. Disneyland's the same way, and we just want to repeat that same recipe.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. And I think what we're doing is today, and in this podcast,
And moving forward, yeah.
and moving forward, right? I think we need to tell that story, and through this venue or this forum or this podcasting.
Yeah.
It's new technology to most, right? I mean, I've never done a podcast before, but I mean, you know, now we're doing something that we can talk about China.
It's a great way to show the experience of Chinatown through our experience, so that people can understand the authentic side of spending time in Chinatown.
I mean, you don't need to speak Chinese.
You don't?
To come to Chinatown.
Oh.
Really, you do not need to.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, maybe a little bit. That could just get you more into trouble than anything.
Yeah.
Perfect. I mean, one language in Chinatown is, you know, yummy and thank you.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, Xiaolong Bao.
Xiaolong Bao, yes. Let's talk
Okay.
about that. What's in there?
So, Xiaolong Bao, you got to be very careful. There's a sauce in there.
A soup.
A soup,
Soup,
right?
yes.
You know, that comes from after being steamed.
Yes.
And
It can get really hot, so you be very careful.
yeah. I'm losing juice on this one.
Yeah. Usually you would throw it in your mouth, or if you can just bite it a little hole and suck out the juice out. And there's vinegar too. So there's vinegar you can dip as well.
If you need to, not everybody. I don't. So.
That's interesting how they put the soup, into the bao itself. 'Cause obviously you can't do it liquefied.
No.
The soup itself is gelatin.
It's gelatin at one
And
point.
made with the stuffing, and then you wrap and steam, and then that
Yeah.
soup stays inside. So that's a unique thing that I don't see any other culture doing it this
Yeah.
way.
The first time I ever had Xiaolong Bao was, and I ate it for the first time not knowing the soup in it. It squirted all over my shirt. Because I bit it in half. I bit it in half. So now anybody who's having it for the first time with me, I had to warn them, hey guys, either cut a little hole, suck the juice out, or just put the whole thing in your mouth.
Well, you heard it here on this podcast. So tip number one
Exactly.
for dim sum: if you
Yeah.
have the Xiaolong Bao, or they also call it the Shanghai dumpling.
That's right, yep.
Right? Because that's where it originated from, is Shanghai. And
Yeah.
I've been to that restaurant in Shanghai that to this for the last 100 years have been serving this dumpling. That's it. That's all they serve. And
Perfect.
there's a huge line. Huge.
So Johnny, can you pour me a little more tea?
Oh
please?
yeah, you betcha. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. And Randy, you talked about how it is we tap our finger. Dan,
That's
do you want
right.
to explain
Sure.
what tapping is all about?
Okay. So the reason why when someone pours you tea and then you kind of play 21 and
Do
tap
this, yes.
like this, right?
Yes.
The reason, and this is where the story comes from my mom, and she says, well, there was an emperor, and he wanted to be like normal people. He was stuck in the forbidden city, so he wanted to be a normal person, but he's the emperor, so he's forbidden to leave.
Right.
So he says to his bodyguard, his personal bodyguard, which has to obey and loyal everything he says. And so he says to the bodyguard, hey, let's go out. I want to go out for lunch.
Right.
Okay? And the bodyguard says, no, you cannot. You can't do that. You're the emperor. He goes, you're listening to me because I'm the emperor and we're leaving. So they dressed up and they went out, to a restaurant having dim sum. And as always, the procedure is tea first, right? Tea comes first, and just like in modern world, or water or something like that comes out. So if you're the emperor, okay, let's say Terry's the emperor, okay?
I am.
Well, yeah, you are. Okay, Ward 7 emperor.
Ward 7
okay?
emperor, that's
Ward
right.
7 emperor, okay? And so I'm his bodyguard, right? And I grab the tea. Or no, he grabs the tea and pours it for me.
Oh, okay.
I'm way under him. I'm his he's the top guy, right?
Yeah.
He shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
So the guard cannot reveal in public who he is.
Oh.
So the custom become and after the emperor poured tea for the guard did this.
Oh.
That was like kowtowing
But
the emperor.
more of a discreet way.
Discreet
Oh,
way.
no way.
So,
I did not know that.
So in essence, when someone pours his tea, he's the emperor, and you're thanking the emperor. So
Wow.
that's the story I got from my mom that to this day I tell. And it's very true. There's other versions and stuff, but that's the essence of it.
I was never told that story.
No?
Nope.
Oh,
Never.
there
I
you
just-
go. You learned something new. Eh?
I just do it out of gesture because it's been done by my family, but no reason, no understanding why.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really cool. Very cool, guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
So the last one I got for you, egg tart.
all
Yeah.
right.
The dessert stuff.
Dessert.
Perfect.
Thank you. Get out to,
Yeah.
Egg tart. One of my favorite dessert growing up, actually. Love egg tart.
But before the egg tart, here I'll help you guys. All sauce?
All sauce. Go for it.
All of it?
Oh, just the
This
peanut?
person.
Oh, this one.
The middle.
Oh, you got all the
You got the
sauce.
sauce.
Sorry, Terry.
Yeah.
And you want
I do.
all?
I do all the sauce too, please. Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Perfect. So this is the steamed rice roll.
Yes.
You can get this with other toppings inside it. In this case, it's just plain for now. You
Yeah.
can get it with beef, barbecue pork, shrimp, green onions.
Much the same as the first dish we have with hagao with the shrimp in it.
Yeah.
Same sort of rice wrap,
Yeah.
which is really nothing more than a slurry
Yeah.
of rice flour, water.
Yeah.
Pour it on a plate, steamed, and then after steamed, then you can roll it into whatever you want to make it out of. It reminds me of going back to China in my father's village, and we went to my ancestral. My neighbors, they have this thing that looks like a meat powder, and thank you.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Yeah.
So when they bring the rice in the field and they have it out, they put the rice in this stone basin, and all they do is just pound to get the rice
Right.
flour out of the
Right,
rice.
right.
But so that was their version of a blender.
Wow.
We're here at the Regency Palace Restaurant, and speaking of the restaurant, there's actually upcoming events.
Oh, many events.
Many events. First one we want to talk about is the Lunar New Year Gala, which is, I guess, organized by the BIA. So, you want to touch on that?
Yeah, so that's on January 30th, and the Lunar New Year Gala that's organized by the Chinatown BIA will be held again January 3rd here at the Regency. There's going to be 10 course.
10-course meal, yep.
There's going to be some
Entertainment.
cultural entertainment, and as this is kind of a next month, like, is Chinese New Year's coming up. It's going to be the year of the snake. That's my year, right?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
I'm going to celebrate like crazy. There's going to be lots of networking opportunities. There's going to be community members, business members, some corporate sponsorship people are coming as well. So I think if you've never experienced a Chinese New Year celebration, the Chinese BIA or Chinatown BIA Lunar New Year Gala is probably something that you would want to try. It's $88. Everybody is welcome.
Yes, that's right.
10 people per table.
Yeah.
You'll be served 10 courses. We had dim sum, but it wouldn't be like this.
Yeah, it'll
but
be a different set of.
diff-
It'd be
different-
dinner. It'd be
yeah,
a dinner set.
dinner style.
Yeah,
So,
and if you do have 10 people who want to come, you want to buy the whole table, and you get 10% off of that. So that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. So
And then next event we have.
is one coming up is February 8th. We're planning a Chinatown dim sum luncheon. And
Yes.
it's a business networking type of event. This one we're going to be talking about social media. And the social media guests will be Randy and Danny. And we'll talk about how social media is beneficial to your business and the way of the future. It's like having a business card. If you don't have a podcast, then it's like having no business card.
Oh, 100%. I remember when Instagram first came out, it's one of those days where you love or you hate it. And I used to hate it because all this stuff keep coming up. But you'll learn to love it because that's how the business run nowadays. It's through network, through organic connections as well. So yeah. So egg tart was one of my favorite dishes growing up, just because of the sweetness, the crispy of the crust. But that's all I really know about it. Is there anything you guys want to add to the egg tart experience?
I mean, other than it's like a custard type of flavor, right? You know, I mean,
everybody does it differently. There's different styles.
They say it's for dessert, but I've had it for breakfast.
Yes.
I've had it for lunch. I've had it for supper. I've had it midnight snacks. So I mean,
Hey, it's to each your own, right? So let's dive in, guys. Yeah, I'll just pass it down. Just grab one.
Here you go.
Perfect. Thank you.
It's gonna be flaky.
All right, this will be the last dish that we have. Let's enjoy it.
Very flaky. Very nice.
I think about these dishes as well. A lot of times, people have different perceptions of what flavors are, and when they think about egg tart, they say, "Well, am I a fan of egg tart?"
Yeah.
It's really more the sweetness that you get out of it, you really enjoy.
Yeah, you got
and
that.
those that are familiar with tarts themselves, these are probably one of the flakiest tarts you're going to get.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And doesn't overly taste like eggs.
No, not at all. 20 years ago, I was in China, and I discovered that in northern China, Beijing, dim sum is not common.
No.
Did you know that? And the reason is because dim sum is, as you mentioned earlier, this is a southern or Cantonese style dish. So, when you go to Beijing, or northern China, they won't have it.
You're right, because I was there a couple years ago, and there really was no dim sum place. No. But
They're a specialty place, right?
And, talk about different origins of foods. A lot of people will say their favorite is ginger beef, and that's certainly you're not going to see in China as well. So what I'm trying to get at is that the origin of a lot of the foods is because of our culinary chefs that travel around the world and learn things, come and bring forth new additions. Again, same sort of thing. Chop suey. Chop suey was never a Chinese dish. It was Western Canada origins. So a lot of different things.
That's right.
A good replication of different things we learned.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of culinary art. It's always evolving. It's always dynamic. Flavors change throughout generations.
Lots of fusion, but one thing that dim sum hasn't really is kept to its origin. Not much, variation. To Hong Kong, or in Hong Kong, when they have dim sum, it's a social gathering. It's like having coffee.
Oh, 100%.
Going to Tim Hortons.
Well, that's what they call it, a yum cha.
Yeah.
It's a
Yum cha,
gathering with
right?
each other, yes.
So, and they talk about everything, right? So,
Councilor Terry Wong, thank you for joining us in this podcast series.
One thing I want to say is that we're coming up to Chinese New Year's on January 29th. So to everybody out there, go hei fa choi, sun and fai lock, meaning Happy New Year's and best wishes to everybody. In Chinatown, there are a number of different functions to participate in on January 25th, 26th on the weekend at the Cultural Center. It'll be the first celebration of the Chinese New Year's with wine dance and dragon dance. And then the following, after Chinese New Year's, on February 1st and 2nd, we repeat that again. And in both situations, you're going to see a number of Calgary's VIPs coming out, whether it be business leaders or politicians and that. But coming out, enjoy the festivities, again, the culture, the dress, everything else. So look forward to seeing you.
Thank you so much.
恭喜發財！
恭喜發財！Right on.